Fort Winiary was part of Festung Posen, a system of defensive fortifications around the Polish city of Poznań. Origins. Fort Winiary was first constructed under Prussian rule in the 19th century. It was the main fort in that system, and was among the first elements to be constructed. Detailed plans were approved on the 21st of February 1829, and the name Fort Winiary soon came to be applied, as the fort was situated on a hill where there were two villages called Winiary. The fort would later become popularly known as Poznań's citadel. On the 10th of October 1829, an order was made restricting civilian building in a strip in front of the planned fort. In May and June 1830, the villages of Winiary and the nearby Poznań farm were evacuated, the inhabitants being moved to an area to the northwest. This is the neighborhood known as Winiary today, part of the city's Jezice district. The fort had a main redoubt on the southern side, flanked by 4 redoubts. At the eastern and western extremes were a Ravelin A and Ravelin IV. The northern side of the fort consisted of Bastion A, Ravelin II, Bastion II, Ravelin III and Bastion III. The first and third redoubt were the first to be completed, in 1830, and the main redoubt was finished in 1832. In 1834, 3 infantry battalions were garrisoned there. The 3rd and 4th Ravelins were finished in 1838 and 1839, completing the fort. On the 15th of October 1856, the bastions were renamed Bastion Johann, Bastion Leopold and Bastion Ludwig, these being the 4 names of the chief architect of Festung Posen and of the fort itself, Johann Leopold Ludwig. Between 1865 and 1873, work was done to reinforce the fort's powder stores. In the early 1890s, an artillery laboratory was built within the fort. 20th century. In 1903, a telegraph station was added. The fort was further reinforced in 1910. Unlike the bulk of the city's inner fortifications, Fort Winiary was not demolished during the early 20th century. It served as the German army's last point of resistance in the Battle of Poznań, and was finally taken by the Red Army on the 23rd of February 1945. The main redoubt was seriously damaged in the fighting. After the war, the fort was the site of public executions by hanging. The very last of these was that of the German SS man Arthur Greiser. In the period 1963 to 1970, the fort was developed into the city's park Cytadella. Most of the fortifications were demolished, although some structures were preserved. The site is listed as one of Poland's official national historic monuments, as designated November 28, 2008, along with other portions of the city's historic core. Its listing is maintained by the National Heritage Board of Poland.